Welcome back to another video. So we are going to compare the following solutions: CSM, Tripo, Hitem3D, and Rodin for character generation applied on this case study. So we have over here a warrior. This is 40k inspired, and we see over here he will have a gun with a chain over here, and onto the other hand he will have a power claw. Now let's start. Initially I'm going to start over here with CSM. And within CSM, if you add an image like this, you're going to have the possibility to have it modified so that it will be a little bit better for the T-posing and automatic animation. And this is the output for that. Let's see how will that work. I'm going to add an image. I'm going to select that I want a single image. I will select that. And we have it over here. We see that your image is now being analyzed. We can then go ahead and again we see that this will see that this doesn't have the exact correct pose. We can go ahead and have it adjusted. This will help us further as it will be a little bit easier to do the automatic rigging, even though at the end of this video we're going to see that auto rigging is not that well defined and it's usually a good idea to do it manually within Blender. Now we can go over here for the most consistent results for the base model. For the texture, we can go for the PBR, and this is, I also made one with baked and one with PBR. It's not important to have this into parts. If I will do that, the gun will have maybe the chainsaw separately. And we see that this is the model that has been reprocessed by CSM. So overall, the details are still over there on the character. He will still have the same gun. Maybe it's a little bit oddly how that gun is within the hand of this character, but considering that this also acts as a chainsaw over here, maybe a grip like that can work. It also simplified over here this weapon, this power claws. We can see it. Now I already have some of those models prepared, but I will add this over here as a base with PBR, and I want this to be generated into a single mesh. So I'm going to hit generate. This will go and start to process now. And I will also go ahead and I'm going to show you the other assets that I created for this. Now that I managed to find the assets over here, we're going to analyze the 3D models. So on CSM, we have the following output. So this is the reprocessed image over here, and as you can see, overall the character has lost Okay, so I managed to find the location of those 3D models. Not sure exactly why they weren't added initially within my assets. There wasn't any filtering, but these will be the characters. So this will be one of those. As we can see, it will look like this. Keep in mind that this used the segmented image that has been reprocessed by CSM, so not the original artwork. And as we can see, the character, the orc, has lost some of the details, especially over here for the face. This will be another similar model. Over here we have one as well, but as we can see, a texture over here is not that well defined. And we're going to have those animations. So for this one, we're going to see that this will be the model for the walking. So overall, the movement of the hands and legs is decent, even though I would prefer this to not be so close to the body of the character. So you can further adjust that because CSM enables you to further select the joints where you want to do that automatic animation. And over here we have the punching animation, but as we can see over here, the weights haven't been well set, and some elements over here onto the leg will also go ahead and be animated. So yeah, overall this will be that output. We're gonna see how the mesh will look like this. I'm also gonna analyze the mesh over here. As you can see, there are not that many details overall onto the model. The weapons are visible over here, and overall, let's say the character shape and body posture, but the fine details such as the ones presented over here, so maybe The face details over here are completely missing on this character. Now let's jump over here within Tripo. So this is the image that I input. We see it over here, the same image, the same resolution, and this was the output. So over here I added a single image and a single output. I didn't have it reprocessed. And by default, we see how well Tripo managed to output this. Over here on the back, the details will look like this. But overall, I'm much more happy with this model over here. We see over here the power claw. It also maintained those cables. So we have over here a blue one and a red one that will be connected to the arm of the character. So that's quite impressive. Now, I also went ahead and went into rigging, into Tripo. And for this character, let's take a look at the walking animation. It will look like this. So overall, the face is not properly weighted. This is why I consider it's important to do this step manually, especially for a character like this. So you can do that within Blender. We have already a running animation. Again, the same problem with the head of the character. And overall, we have some weird overlapping. Over here, we have the dive animation. We can also show over here the character's skeleton, and we're gonna see how those will look. We have over here the climb, so it's mostly a climb on something that is roughly, let's say, 1 meter. Let's see over here for turn. As you can see, some of the animations have been generated. The ones that will have that check have been processed. And this one is now being created for the turn. And while this will process, I'm going to go ahead and I will check the other models over here. So the other tools that outputted the same Ork character. So I'm going to jump over here and this will be Hitem3D. Again, the same image, and this will be the output. Overall, the details over here on the gun are a lot better. For the character as well. Keep in mind that this will have 2 million faces, so in order to use it within a game, we will have to go ahead and optimize this. But take a look over here at the details on this mesh. So it's quite impressive how well these are retained onto the character, considering that this was done using a single image. And we see over here the elements on the back are also well defined. Over here for the feet and for the boots as well, a really impressive model. Now, Hitem3D doesn't enable animation, so this will mostly be for the character generation. So you will have to go ahead and do it manually. But as we saw within the other tool, usually the manual input will be a lot better. Okay, so we have over here the turn ready animation. So I'm gonna enable that, but again, we're gonna see that the face of the character will have many problems. So let me just set this to idle so we can check that skeleton and how it has been retargeted. While this is being processed, I'm gonna jump over here within Rodin and let's check over here the mesh as well. So again, we're gonna have those two cables well defined, the red one and the blue one. As we can see it over here. The elements on the back. Over here the weapon, so the chainsaw, the texture has been simplified. So I'm just going to go ahead and output over here the geometry. We're going to see that those chain blade elements will still be visible over there. But we are missing some details over here on the face of the character. So if I will show this with the texture, we're going to see that overall the mouth and those will be heavily simplified. So with texture, it will not look that good. Keep in mind that you can redo the texture depending on your account type. In this case, I can do it up to 50 times. As you can see it over here, it will generate quite fast, but you should also consider to go ahead and do a manual texturing. Because in my opinion, generative AI for character design will do the heavy lifting, which is the character design. But afterwards, you will need to go ahead and further sculpt the model and do the texture manually, as that will output a lot better results. But the hardest part within character generation was to create the mesh of that character based on some concepts. And in my opinion, that is the strong point of generative AI. Now, while we have this texture being generated, it's almost finished. I'm really curious if the face of the character has been improved. And as you can see, there are not that great results over here for that. So we can go ahead and maybe change this. Let's also increase over here the PBR temperature. Not sure if that will affect, but I've set this to 1 so that it should now retain all the information from the image. And we see over here that we see this bottom jaw helmet over here that should be a little bit better design. And overall, the character will look goofy like this, as you can see, compared to this one, which will have the shape of the ears a lot better. So even though with the textures over here by default, we're gonna have that orc face well represented. Now let's jump to Tripo and let's check that idle animation, because I'm really curious how that skeleton will be added. So we're gonna see that this will be also a problem within the idle animation. So basically the auto rigging is not well set in this case. If I'm gonna jump over here on the overview, we're gonna see it over here. So as you can see, this model will be rigged, but again, that rigging is not that well defined. So character generation, let's see an overall conclusion regarding this. We see that this has been finished also over here. Okay, so overall, I'm really curious what's your opinion regarding this, but I consider that generative AI can output good meshes. Regarding texture, it's still having a little bit of struggle, but we see over here, for example, Hitem3D, the overall texture quality and the mesh quality are really good. They don't offer rigging because rigging is quite hard, so the other software developers have enabled auto rigging for a long time. So CSM is the first one that introduced rigging. I think that this happened almost 2 years ago, but we see that it's still far from being well implemented. And it still requires manual input to go ahead and select the joints. And in my opinion, it would be better to just do it directly within Blender. After you take the mesh, you clean it, you further work with that within Blender, and you can obtain some great results over there. We see over here for this texture, we can use the AI retexture functionality over here, and we can use that image as an overlay and transfer those textures, because overall the texture over here will not be as well defined. So you will need to use the image brush, you will need to upload an image. I will not go into details because I already have a video regarding this. So keep in mind that you can further improve the model over here from CSM. We see the one with Tripo, which is overall good. We see over here the details. This can go as a low poly character, or maybe if you intend to use this as a 3D print, it will look like this. So we see the weapon, we see the chainsaw, we see the power claw. Those will be well defined. Afterwards, we're gonna have over here Rodin, which as well, if you are gonna use this maybe for a 3D print, the geometry will look like this. So overall, we can see the shape of the orc. Maybe over here for the ears, you would have to go and manually sculpt those a little bit because they're a little bit weird. But the overall proportion for the boots, for the legs, for the posture, for the power claw is really good over here as well. And we have Hitem3D over here, which in my opinion will output the best results. So we have the profile of the weapon well defined over here, the power claw, and also some of the details onto the character face over here. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this kind of comparison. If you want me to also add an additional tool over here, let me know in the comment section, and I'm gonna check that as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna position a similar video on the left side, and I will also add a subscribe button to the right. So that's it. Thanks for watching.